when we talked about the soul's journey. Now, I am a firm believer of astrology. So, now there's a specific date and time on which a child is supposed to be getting birth, being delivered. Now, with a lot of people, as you mentioned, because of the nakshatras and astrological reasons, they either prepone or they postpone the delivery. Does it have a positive or negative impact? And should people be doing this?
I would not say should or not should. First of all, if you understand that, if you look at the universe, right, there is a timing for everything. If you look at the universe, there is a precise time for everything that is happening. Be it a plant growing, be it the river flowing, be it the sun rising, right? So everything has a timing to it.
Mhm.
And all of us are part of that universe. When
Yep.
we say the Big Bang theory, and all of us have come through that, the Shiva, and the entire universe that has been created, right? So all of us are fragments of that universe.
Mhm.
That means as souls, we also have our perfect time.
Yep.
So if you're born in the natural way, it is your perfect timing. If you imagine ki the plant, you have to make it grow, fast abhi grow karwana hai. How will you do it? It's impossible. Can you water it more? Can you give more sunlight? Can you give more fodder? It'll still not grow. It still take its time. It'll still be, doing its own way, right? And when it does that, that is the strongest plant also that you see.
Mhm.
But the more water you would have given, or more artificially that you would have grown that plant also will die off much faster. So if you look at it, astrology also talks about that when the child is born, there is a reason and there is a planetary position that the child is meant to be having to complete the karma in that life.
Mhm.
But what are we doing? We're altering that.
Yep.
And that is when we see the struggles happening a lot more in that child's life. And then we say, Arey, isko nazar lag gayi. So many things are going off. The child keeps falling sick, or the child's development is not happening because somewhere we have manipulated that timing, which was actually supposed to be a perfect timing. So when you are born, you are meant to be doing something, and that is your perfect timing. So let's not alter that, but I would say alter now that I am born in this time, and this is what my this dasha will come, or my this nakshatra is there. Can I make my child or myself more equipped to handle the situation there, rather than altering ki, acha, born in the best timing, but still I am not equipped. What is the point of that? That everything else is fine, but at a skill level or at my potential level, I'm not there.
Understood.
Rather than that, you be born with whatever it is and make yourself equipped to handle whatever is going to come, and that is going to make a more successful child.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That really helps calm my curiosity to a certain level. I will discuss it offline. Otherwise, we will just have the complete time being utilized over here. Can you just help our listeners understand like what are the different modalities on sound healing or energy healing yoga, which they can align with while they are pregnant and for the better development of the fetus as well as mother's health? What are those things?
So, see, when we say a lot of things nowadays that you have, but basically is living a normal life. Okay, that means everything that you were doing before, you can do all that, unless definitely that there is a complication or something, as a medically advised, something is, not right in your body, right? But otherwise, say, when we say listen to good music,
Mhm.
but mainly when we say sound, listen to those frequencies of sound which are takes you to a higher level. So when we say your mantras, your, the chants that you do, say even the om that you say, because that's the universal frequency, that's the universal vibration. So your om, when you say om, there is a lot of alignment that happens, right? And if you look at it, all our mantras in the Vedic scriptures have om, and a lot of those chanting, which is the sounds of the syllables and the Sanskrit that they say, or even any language that you have, that even you have like a Vishnu Sahasranama in the south, right?
Yeah.
Now the language that is used for that is actually which resonates to your body, and that is where the frequency matches. And when you listen to that, you will calm down. or you will feel much higher, you will feel more energetic, you will feel happier, you will feel more in sync with everything that you are doing. Otherwise, your mind is very scattered, right? So that is something as a sound that you can play in your house. You can do
Mhm,
that,
mhm,
right? Ragas, your classical rags, or it could be a Western or an Indian classical, could be very nice for you to listen.
mhm, mhm.
Okay. Yoga, definitely, yes, under supervision, I would say, because now, even say you have a prenatal Pilates, which is happening, since recent times, that, for the pregnancy that you have. But all that should be done with a lot of supervision, because, you never know that what you might stretch and what you might
Yeah.
go through. Rather than taking any harsh steps, go slow in that. So any asana is very good. You know under supervision, certain things that they tell you for making it ready for a normal delivery and all that over a period of time, right? So I would say any sound or any song that you enjoy listening, which keeps you stable, mainly because certain songs or certain things will make you very, very emotional, or they can make you very happy, or so anything that you go with a very high and low again is like again that you are altering the frequency in the body. So that should not be there. So something that you feel like listening, yes, but suddenly don't listen to something and suddenly don't come back to a very low song, which will not kind of help you to do that. A lot of linguistic, I would say, a lot of different languages, if you listen during pregnancy, and different languages, songs, if you listen during pregnancy, it's something which stimulates the brain of inside the womb also. That also helps you to do it.
I have been hearing this, and I guess it's part of the postpartum depression out there. Mother's guilt. Like a lot of mothers have difficult time leaving their babies or going back to work or going out for a refresher. Like mother is also an individual out there. She also needs her own time. She
Definitely.
just completed that whole journey of 9 months bringing a life into this world. She needs to feel her natural self back. So, how can mothers, really bridge this notion of guilt that happens with them? Because I was just watching an influencer who just delivered a baby in the previous month, and she had to go out for just having meet her friend, and she talked about that I'm having a guilt that I'm leaving my baby back home and going out. So, if you can just elaborate on it for people who don't know what mother's guilt is, and how can it be managed better?
So, I would say, if first of all, the guilt is because you feel that, two lives are very different. Say, bringing up the child and going to work are two different things.
Mhm.
If you look at our olden days, or farmers, kya karte the? They used to take their child to the farm, used
Yeah.
to make them sleep there, give them food over there, feed wherever it is required, and they used to work, right? So there is a process, or there was things that, mothers used to do that. But now, because of, the corporate life and a lot of things that we go through, and the nuclear families, definitely, first of all, the feeling is that I have been restricted from everything, because I can't eat this, I can't go here, I can't do that because of my child. So the first thing is that there was a reason why you wanted the child, right? When you conceived, there was a reason there. And that was a reason that you wanted to be complete with yourself, because motherhood is like a completion, because, when you can give birth, or you can give a life, that part of it kind of completes you, right? So as a family, you wanted to be complete, and there was a decision that you had taken. Now, with that decision, there does come certain responsibilities, right? It's not about that I can't do this, or I can't can do that, but those responsibilities are, okay, at this phase of my child, there is a certain time that I need to devote, right? After a point of time, I can let go of that time, and I will have more free time.
Mhm.
So if I can make myself first understand that there was a reason why I conceived, there was a reason why the child has come into my life, and what all I can do with my child during the first month, second month, third month, to make me feel complete first. Because what happens is that now a lot of us, because we are working, and, like policies in the corporates and everything, that you get those leaves and all that, or you have to work from home, we are not able to balance that. and that is where the guilt comes in. But say the 10 minutes that I spend with my child, or that in a day that I am spending that little quality time every hour or every 2 hours, it helps me to again feel the completion, right? And the minute I feel complete, then there will be no guilt for me, that even if I have to step out, I'm okay that what, I have given my time to her, what my child wanted. And now it's okay that for some time I can go out, finish my thing that I need to, and I can come back and again give that time back to my child, right? So the minute I kind of go back to that feeling of why I wanted my child, that guilt is much lesser. And today, to every parent that I talk to and I work with, it's like I had learned this during my pregnancy time, which was, it's called a say and do.
Mhm.
It's a process called a say and do, where where we teach our parenting courses. It was the infant siddha program that we had done, where it is told that you first tell your child and then you do. Okay,
Okay.
that means that today I want to go out in the night. From morning, I start telling my child that, what, mama is going to be out from 9 o'clock, and she's going to be back after a party at 12 o'clock in the night. Okay, so it's like I am teaching, or I am treating my child as an adult. I'm not treating my child who does not know anything. And
Mhm.
the minute I start doing that, like say to my spouse or to somebody in the house, even I will tell no that I'm going out for this much time and come back by this time, right? So I am not making my child completely unaware of everything that is happening. That suddenly my mother vanished. Suddenly my mother was just not there, and I'm in hands of maybe a house help, or a grandmom, or anybody, or my husband, or anybody, right? So but I have told my child that I'm not going to be there. And what, even a 1 day old child, right, I'm talking like a 1 day old child, the child can listen. The child does know everything, it just does not respond, but the child can absorb every information that you give. So when you do a say and do process, your child is aware of everything that you are doing. So your guilt is much lesser, or in fact, I never had the guilt because I used to go for movies in the night, even though my child was 2 months old. So I've never fed my child in the night because they never got up. She never got up. She used to sleep at some 7:30 in the evening. And the next day, 6 o'clock, she used to get up. And that was the process of say and do, that you're having a 12-hour long sleep, not for my benefit, but for the benefit of the growth of the child, right? So today, if I am going, and I would tell, okay, even though you're going to be sleeping, I'm going to be going for a movie, and I will come back, and you will keep sleeping, right? So what am I doing is I am telling the child, I'm making them aware, I am making them involved in my outing, in my thing. And I'm not lying to them that suddenly, okay, mama bahar gayi, because it's like a lie that, okay, I'm going to the doctor. I've seen a lot of moms saying, I'll go to the doctor and come back. You can't come to the doctor. But I've gone and partied, right? So now the child can sense the feeling. Today, it's a simple thing that you're telling the child. Maybe the child might not realize that. But what are you teaching the child, right? I'm teaching to lie, or I'm teaching to hide things. And then, when they grow up, say 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, the child stops telling you or communicating with you, and they start hiding things. But where was the seed sown? So these are those factors where I feel guilty, that why am I hiding? Internally, as a mother, I know that I don't need to hide anything. I'm going out with a friend, I'm going out with a friend, and that's my life, and that's okay. I mean, all of us have a way to live our life. But today, if I can involve the same way as I can involve a spouse, or I can involve anybody in the family, if I start involving my child in everything that I do, my guilt is not going to be. I would not feel guilty because of that. Because today I want to do my work, and if I tell that, okay, I have 2 hours of work, and I go back to the child and give my time, which is an undivided time, even if it is 10 minutes,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
then my completion is happened. So I would not feel the guilt.
I mean, we have been discussing a lot around these things. Is it possible for you to share some real life examples or case studies where, sound healing and the different modalities that you just shared have impacted people out there. So you can share one or two case studies for our listeners.
So I have been doing parenting classes and I've been doing sound healing since a lot of time. So parenting sessions, yes. So I have had parents where I have worked with them where they were not able to conceive also. And using the power of, when we say manifestation, or also, as I said in the beginning, that, the reason why you want to conceive, the reason why, a soul needs to come into the family, they have started having a family and they've had children. And today I still have those children coming to me for any issues or any challenges, those parents also coming back to me. So that is one of, and multiple, I would say. Sound healing, I have worked with a lot of parents where they've gone through some shock in their life. Say today I see somebody, anyways, I'm very emotional as a mother because, because of my 9 months of, the hormonal change that is happening. And I see something happening, or I see a death, or I see somebody not well, or, something happens which is not in my control. There is a shock that I get into. Or there is always this question of why me and why not them, right? So sound healing has helped them to overcome those shocks where it has shown a significant change in the way the child responds. That means the test that they do in terms of the development, the fetal development of the child, the double marker test, or, all those tests which they do. Sometimes the development has been slower because of, the anxiety or the fear, or, the maybe the doubt that how things will happen over the period of time that has come in, or even the shocks that they have gone through because of, say, in-laws or parents, or, spouse, or any work related things. Those shocks, when they come out of it, the before and after of a test would show that the fetal development has changed. And sound definitely works because, as I say, that the womb, matlab the soul inside, can only hear and only feel. It can taste, it can smell, but that's not something that it responds to first. But today I get a shock or I feel something, the child inside will feel that. Or if I listen to something and I feel happy, the child will be able to listen to that also, right? So sound, so frequency and vibration are those primary things that the child inside has already felt. So using those sound healing for the child inside, it becomes very easy for them to resonate or go back to very original frequency that they were born with. And that is when you see miracles happening also. Even say a person not having, not being able to conceive. I have worked through sound healing with them where they can conceive just even without talking or without doing anything with them. Just sound healing makes them conceive also. That is one. Because, certain hormonal balance, if we have to do, the alignment of the frequency of the body happens. And that is when the body gets ready for it. So these are different case studies that I've been working with pregnancy.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, for the amazing work you're doing and sharing these things for helping our listeners understand, the depths of it.